It doesn't look very good for Triston Casas, ladies and gentlemen. We finally have the injury update that everyone has been waiting for. We're going to break down all of the latest Triston Casas injury news. Plus, we're going to get into first base replacements, who I think are the most likely people that could be taking over during Triston Casas' absence. Before we get into all of that, look, I know that Triston Casas is a highly divisive character in the Red Sox locker room. I know he has not contributed this year like a lot of people expected him to, but you never want to see a player get injured. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you like him, if you don't like him. You never want to see someone get injured. So let's put the good vibes out for Triston Casas right now. Spam 36 in the comments to wish Casas well. I want to see 40, 50, 60, 36 comments down in the comments section. Show him some love. Again, you don't have to like him. You don't have to dislike him. You can think whatever you want about him. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and you don't ever want to see someone suffer an injury like Casas suffered. Welcome into this edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack Lauderay. Let's get in to the latest around Triston Casas. So if you did not watch the game last night in the win against the Minnesota Twins, as Triston Casas was trying to beat out a chopper ground ball to Joe Ryan, his left knee buckled and he hit the deck, and instantly you knew it did not look good. Non-contact knee injuries, which we talk a lot about in football, are never a good sign. And we got the news today that Triston Casas officially ruptured his left patellar tendon, which is not good. If you don't know, I believe it's a tendon that connects your kneecap, something to that type of thing. It's basically around it's a tendon around his kneecap that he ruptured. And I did a little bit of digging and diving. Of course, I'm not a doctor, but what does a recovery time look like for that? It says that recovery, whether partial or complete, can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months. A complete rupture requiring surgery typically takes around 6 months from initial healing and rehab, with some patients reporting a full return to activity in 12 months. Partial tears, often treated with bracing and physical therapy, may take 3 to 6 weeks for recovery. So we don't know the severity of this rupture, if that makes sense. All we know is that he ruptured his left patellar tendon. Is it a full tear? Is it a minor, type of tear? Is it a 3 to 6 week thing? Is it a 6 to 12 month thing? We don't know that. They'd only placed him, I believe it was on the 10-day IL. So they didn't put him on the full 60-day IL like I would have expected them to do. So we don't know yet whether or not this is a season-ending injury. I would assume within the next few hours, when Alex Cora talks, that we're going to get some sort of explanation. However, the reports around the Red Sox they are bracing for a prolonged absence. So, look, hopefully it's not a 12-month thing. I would love for him to, if at the worst, be like a 6-month thing and he gets relatively a full off season to prepare for next season. But you never want to see this. This is never something that you want to see. Injuries like this are scary, and they're so volatile. So hopefully it's the shorter term of the two. Again, at the time of recording this, we don't have any more information on the severity of the tear, but as of right now, not looking great. They are preparing for a full, long absence to take place. In his place, the Red Sox did call up Abraham Toro. I was a little surprised about that. I was actually recording the first version of this video when that news came out. But yeah, Abraham Toro gets the nod. He's got experience. He's been around the league for a while. He can play different places in the infield. So this makes some sense. Veteran presence makes sense. Cool. Got it. Great. Other moves that came up today real quick that we'll hit as well, and then we're going to get into the Triston Casas replacements. Brendan Bernardino's back from the bereavement list, and then Luis Guerrero got optioned back to Worcester, which I don't agree with. I think Luis Guerrero has been awesome since he's been called up, and I don't agree with that move, but it is what it is. I don't make the moves. So yeah, that's pretty much pretty much the status of what we've got right now. So we're going to get into Triston Casas replacements here in a second, but before we do that, anytime there's Red Sox injury news, anytime there's trade rumors, anytime any breaking Red Sox news happens, we make a video here on the channel. I recorded the first version of this video, and then as soon as we got the news that he officially had ruptured his left patellar tendon, I scrapped that video, and I'm making a brand new video right now from home. So this is the commitment you're going to get to this channel. Anytime there is a new update, anytime there is new news, we make a video. So please, if you have not already, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are trying to make this the fastest growing Red Sox channel on the internet. So if you love the Sox and you have not already hit that subscribe button, do it right now. All right, let's get into the Triston Casas replacements. I have 6 options here. I guess technically 7. I'm going to add Abraham Toro to this list because he was the one that got the nod. But yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, the first name is Romy Gonzalez. He's going to be your everyday first baseman as of now. He's been your backup first baseman all year. The point I want to make across all of these options is none of them, in my opinion, are good enough defensive options across the board. You are going to get a net positive offensively from every single one of these replacement options. Casas has not been good at the plate this year, and that's coming from a Casas truther like myself. He has not been good at the plate this year. So you are going to get a net positive offensively from all of these options. But I do think you're going to get a net negative from all of these options defensively. None of these options have the big, stocky base that Casas has at first base. And with as volatile as this infield can be, you want stability at first. So while everyone's like, while some people may be like, oh, this is great, Casas is out of the lineup, awesome, we've got someone else in the lineup, great. Offensively, yes, you have a net positive, but I do think that it's going to be significant, the net negative that you get defensively. Like, people may say, oh, Jack, you don't got to worry about a lot at first base. I mean, you do. Have you seen how many balls that Bregman and Story have thrown in the dirt this year that Casas has had to pick? Like, I don't see anyone on this list replicating that. And that is a little bit concerning because offense wins championships. And if your infield offense drastically gets worse because your first baseman cannot pick a ball to save his life, that is concerning. So that's the one thing I'm going to say about this from the start. But let's start. Romy Gonzalez has played very well when he's played. Again, defensively, there are some issues, but he's had good games offensively. So he will be your everyday first baseman. I don't love it. I've never loved the prospect of him being an everyday first baseman, and I don't think he's an everyday first baseman. But he's going to have to be. That is the world that you live in. As long as Casas is out, he's going to be the guy, unless someone else on this list takes over. So Romy Gonzalez is the first one that, is the obvious one because he's been the backup first baseman all season long. The next one that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but I do actually think makes a little bit of sense as well, is Connor Wong. He got some time at first base last year. Carlos Narvaez has kind of taken over as the number one catcher on this team. You're going to get a clear net positive offensively. I think Connor Wong, while his bat's not great, is better than Casas has been, and he's got experience. The only problem is Wong's small. Like drastically small compared to Triston Casas. So having a smaller frame at first base is just not advantageous. So I do still think that Wong should just stay as the backup catcher or like split time catcher, but he is someone that I think they will probably give a nod to at one point or another. Abraham Toro is the next option. He was the one that just got called up. Had a pretty decent spring training. Got the nod. He got signed on a minor league deal this offseason, and he's got some veteran experience. He's been around the block at first base, and he's the option that they decided to call up. I also, there's a few other options that we're going to talk about in a few minutes in the video that I thought were probably more viable options in AAA, but hey, Breslow and Cora trust Toro to come up and do something. So we'll see how he does. And he is another option at first base for the Red Sox. This one's interesting, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I don't necessarily agree with it. It's Rafael Devers. There was talk in the offseason about moving Devers to first base when all the Alex Bregman controversy came around. And there are talks now of, hey, you put Devers at first, and and you maybe bring up Masataka Yoshida from injury purgatory and be your DH. Have that solid contact hitter, or you bring up Roman Anthony and he can split time in the outfield and DH while Devers is at first. I don't agree with any of that. I think that Devers was statistically one of the worst defensive infielders in all of baseball over the past few years. And yes, I know you're moving him from third to first, and those are very different positions, but he's still not good defensively. It just is what it is. It's the writing on the wall. And obviously the Red Sox agree with that by moving him to DH. So I don't agree with that option because, one, you're not bringing up Roman Anthony to platoon between the outfield and DH. If you're bringing up Roman Anthony, he's going to be an everyday outfielder. That is what it is. You do not, snip, snap, move your new guys around all of a sudden. You need to give them stability. And so I don't agree with them going that route. And Yoshida, the more I see, the more I legitimately believe that there's something actually wrong with his shoulder. And they're not going to just bring him up to hit. I think they want him to be fully right before they bring him up to the Major League roster. So I don't really think the Rafael Devers to first base makes a lot of sense, both defensively and then who's going to DH. I don't think that makes sense. I think Devers has finally started to get comfortable in the DH role, and for that, keep him comfortable. Don't completely throw him off his rhythm now by moving him to first base. I don't think that makes sense, but you let me know in the comments. Do you think Rafael Devers plays games at first base for the Red Sox this season? Type Y for yes if you think he does. Type N for no if you think he does not. I'm going to say N for no. I think there are plenty of more viable options, both on the Major League roster and in AAA, that I don't think it makes sense. Leave him where he's comfortable now. He's finally comfortable in the DH position. Leave him there. Don't mess with it. Let it ride. Just let it ride. 3 options from AAA that I want to talk about. Initially, Nick Sogard was my thought of the guy that was going to get called up. I was literally talking about Sogard in the first version of this video when the tweet came across that Abraham Toro was the one getting the call. But I think Sogard's probably the next best option. He's played well in the Major League level when he's been up. He played well this spring training, and he's got experience all around the infield. So I think that if Toro does not work out, if he flames out, I think Sogard's probably the next best option in AAA. Another option's Vaughn Grissom. He's been getting time at first base. I think he's probably a worst case scenario because he's only gotten 5 or 6 games at first base. But from all accounts, he's been playing really well in Worcester. So he is an option that I think they are trying to find a way to get him up to the Major League roster. And if, Sogard and Toro don't work out and you get Grissom some more time at first, he could be an option. He could be a legitimate option on this team. So it's very, very interesting to see how this is all going to work out. And then the last one I just want to bring up because it's definitely not going to happen. Everyone's talking about Roman Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, make one of them a first baseman, bring them up, call them up. Guys, that's not going to happen. A report literally came out today that they are not introducing first base to anyone who has not already played first base. So I know a lot of people are begging and arguing and yelling from the rooftops, just put Roman Anthony or Marcelo Mayer at first and it'll all work out. No, it's not happening. They're not doing that. You're not moving your 2 talented guys and just placing them over at first to give you an excuse to call them up. It's not happening. So don't, stop trying to assume that it's going to, because it's not. But yeah, those are the Triston Casas replacements. Romy Gonzalez, Connor Wong, Abraham Toro, Rafael Devers, Nick Sogard, Vaughn Grissom, I think are the ones that make the most sense. And then we had to talk about Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer because everyone wants them to be called up. And I want them to be called up too, but I don't want them to be prematurely called up and put in a position that they don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. You let me know who will be the main first baseman for the Red Sox by the end of the season. Let me know down below in the comments. I mean, I would assume it's probably Romy Gonzalez, but things could change. Someone could come up. A Sogard or a Wong or a Toro or a Grissom could come up and be way better than Romy Gonzalez. So you let me know. By the end of the year, who will be the starting first baseman for the Boston Red Sox? I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. All right, we're going to recap the game real quick. Don't have the stats up again. Going to get through it real quick. One quick injury note. Christian Campbell was supposed to be back today, according to all accounts, but he's not. He's not in the lineup today. So maybe they're just giving him some time to rest. I don't know. David Hamilton had a really good game yesterday. He went 3 for 4, had 3 hits. So maybe they're just giving Hamilton some more run and they don't feel like they have to rush Campbell back. Hopefully it's not a more serious injury than we've already thought. But that is something to monitor, is that Christian Campbell is not in the lineup again today once again. Red Sox win 6-1. Really great team win. Brian Bayo went 6 2/3, only gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks. 2 outings so far for Bayo this year that have been really solid. That is a great thing to see. And with Walker Buehler going on the 15-day IL with right shoulder inflammation, you need your starters to be on. And to see Bayo pitching well is a really, really great sign. Offensively, you had 13 hits, you had 10 Ks. Rafael Devers and David Hamilton both had 3-hit games, which was great to see. Alex Bregman and Trevor Story both had multi-hit games as well. Alex Bregman is now over 1,000 OPS. He's one of 3 players in all of Major League Baseball to have an OPS over 1,000. And according to MLB.com, he is heralded right now as the best third baseman in all of baseball. Great team win for the Red Sox. Keep the momentum going into today. I believe Hunter Dobbins is on the mound today, if I know correctly. It is. Is Hunter Dobbins on the mound today, which I'm very excited to see him pitch once again. If you win today, you win the series, so go win the series. That's pretty much it, guys. That's where I'm going to end it today. If we have any more updates that come out throughout the rest of the day, I will make YouTube shorts on them, so don't miss any of that breaking news. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. And until next time, go Sox.